Hi everyone. Happy Friday. End of another week. I can almost not believe it. I feel like I say that every time I come online, but time just is racing by, I feel. I hope you're all well. As you can see, I've got a bit of a different backdrop today. My partner and I have taken a little bit of a trip for the weekend. So we are in Vredendal at the moment. So yeah, nice and chilly here as well. And how beautiful has the rain been everywhere. We had downpours in Hermanus yesterday. It was lovely. Hi, Zita. Hi, Siri. Thanks for being here. Hi, Christina. Welcome. Welcome, everybody. So, as you guys know, today is an intermediate practice. This week, we've been focusing on back bends. So, it'll be kind of the last very back bend orientated practice. And then we've gotten a few requests in for next week. Hi, Candace. Hi, Cheryl. So if you have any requests, you can put them in and then I'll kind of feel it out and see what I feel like going with next week. But we've had twists as a request, we've had balancing as a request. So let me know if there's a specific pose you want to work on or work around, or specific movements or specific body parts, then please let me know. I'd love to have some inspiration from you guys and really be teaching what you guys need. So it gives me inspiration for my sequencing. Rain outside, yoga inside. Oh, sounds like a dream, Roz. Nice to have you here as always. How are you feeling? How's your body feeling? I know you've done a lot of yoga this week. Cool. Hi, Christina. Yeah, guys. So as normal, you'll need your yoga mat and then a cushion. So kind of any cushion. People have been asking what kind or what size pillow. I would just try a few. It's just an extra prop that you can use underneath your knees if you need some extra padding, or if we're holding a pose and you need support under another part of the body, then that's when you'll use your cushion. So you can kind of just use a few in your house and see what kind of feels and works the best for you. Hi, Steven. Dan sien ek jou online ook hierso. Ek neem aan jy kyk net want ek dink jy's nog by die werk. Yeah, so you will just need pretty much that for today. For those of you, if it's your first time in the practice, it is more of an intermediate practice. So we do go a little deeper, maybe a little stronger, but really you only go as far as you're comfortable in your own body. Please, guys, look after your bodies. Don't overstretch. If something doesn't feel good, back off. And then, of course, just remember the breath. So we'll give it, we've still got quite a bit of time. Let's see who joins in. Dineke, first flow session. Hi. Stephen, hi Kiki. Ja, kyk net. See you later. Welcome, Dineke. First flow session. Is it your first time practicing yoga, or is it just your first Jeff flow? Are there any other first timers here today? Please let me know. Introduce yourself if we haven't kind of met on the platform yet. And to the rest of you who are regulars, how are your bodies doing? How are you guys feeling? Another week, end of I know a lot of the one-on-ones are going to kind of have their end of month check-in and all those kinds of things, which is always very exciting. I said yesterday as well that my heart has just been melting at the amount of success stories that are being posted, and just people with the biggest smiles and the most beautiful stories. So keep them coming, keep sharing your experiences with us. We really want to know how you guys are and what you need, and how we can make this platform serve you guys in the best way possible. First, Jeff Flo, have done a little yoga, but not much. Hey, Sarah, I miss you. Are you practicing? I hope you're practicing. Are your mom and dad practicing? First, Flo Dinica, cool, done a little bit of yoga, not much. Don't worry, everything is really step by step. So there might be some poses that you can't do, but that's fine. Just skip them out, and just listen to your body. Don't go too far, and just enjoy the practice. You know, it's obviously we're in our physical bodies, we're moving our physical bodies in the asana physical practice, which is a part of yoga, but there's so many more benefits. So even if you just put this 45 minutes aside and I'm just talking and you do nothing, then you've already just set 45 minutes aside for yourself to just have some time and create some space. But yeah, enjoy the practice and do what you can and leave what you can't. Hi, sis. Angela van der Merwe. Hi, Angela. Welcome, everyone. So let's give it a few more minutes and see who else pops on for the live class. You guys know, of course, that you don't have to do these sessions live. You can catch up at any time, which is amazing. And so if you've missed any of the classes, or if you're completely new, and I know there's often people who kind of jump on these live sessions, but they haven't actually done one. You can, for instance, pick the beginner sessions and try that out, or do the top-up stretch on a Wednesday and try that out. Or you can just continue using those classes. If there's a class that you really enjoyed, maybe just make a note of it, and then you can go back to that session where you feel like your body needs that particular kind of movement or that kind of sequence on that day. Welcome, Rita. I've seen you a lot this week as well. I hope you're well. How are you feeling? Not as chilly here as in Hermanus, but chilly enough for me to have my Jeff socks on, which got delivered to me. Woo! So excited. Getting more of my Jeff swag getting delivered to me next week. So that makes me like super happy and excited. So if you guys haven't had a look at it, you can see here in the frame, and just send us a comment or a DM. Have a look on the website. All the information is there on how you can order. And like, no jokes, I'm now like, you can see the Siri as well. We're pretty much like living in these socks. I might have to get another pair, and my boyfriend is very upset that he does not have a pair. So I'm considering giving these to him, but then he'll have to do more flow classes and more HIIT classes. So I'm going to give him a goal. If he does at least 3 a week, then he can have a pair of socks. So we'll see how that goes. I'll keep you guys informed. Yeah, and then you guys know, of course, there's the membership for Jeff. We really are trying to make this platform as accessible as possible and offer as much as possible. We've got the high intensity classes, we've got the flow classes for the membership, but then of course, if you're joining in the membership, it's just 200 Rand a month. You're also getting the guided runs with the cooking on the Wednesdays with Coach Adrian. You actually then get like information sent to you beforehand so that you can really be prepped for it. Just like a lot of little extras that are very valuable by paying that 200 Rand membership. And then of course, if you want to up your game, if you want to level up, or if you feel like you need someone to keep you accountable for your goals, then the one-on-one coaching really is the way to go. I'm considering signing up because sometimes it's hard, sometimes it's hard and you just need someone there. And so we've got such a big team of coaches, all amazing people. I often say, Jeff is like the happy club, and all the coaches are super positive. and ready there to help you. So you'll get matched with someone who is perfect for you. So if you're interested in any of the one-on-one coaching, please get in touch with us, and we'd be happy to answer any questions or find out if it is the right thing for you to do at this point. So yeah, guys, before I run, the last 2 days I have been a disaster with timekeeping, everyone. I'm so sorry. Yesterday, I cut my class short, and the previous day, I started late. So let's start on time. It's exactly 12:30. I'm going to remove my socks, even though I wish I could practice with them on all the time. Cool. And I think anyone else who can join a rough morning with homeschooling, shame, Kitty. Well, I'm glad that you can catch up with the session. I really hope you can make time to do that. Welcome, everyone. Hello, Juan Mong. Hi, Siki. I hope you're practicing. Cool, guys. So let's get started. Like I always say, make sure that you have a pillow close by, just in case you need it. So you might not even need it, but just nice to give yourself the option. So we're going to come to stand. I'll just show you from the side, but just come to stand up tall, feet hip distance apart. And then bend your knees slightly. Interlace your fingers. Flip your palms away from you. And then start to press your arms forward, rounding into the spine and tucking the chin. So now my legs are really strong and firm. My fingerprints are pressing into the backs of my hands. And I'm getting this lovely stretch across the upper back. You can let your chin tuck completely. Nice. Let's take a few more breaths here. Start to activate into the abdominals, drawing them inwards or backwards. Nice. And then reach both arms all the way up. Stretch through your legs. You could look up if that feels good. And then bend your knees again. Take a little side stretch to your right. So reaching up and over, you're using your bottom hand or your bottom arm to pull the top arm across. Come back through to center. And then over to the other side. Again, that bottom arm, pulling that top arm across should feel like quite a nice stretch. And then let's come all the way up. Split your hands. Take that same interlace, but with the hands behind you. Keep your knees bent. And then I have to like kind of wiggle around here because I feel like I almost get like stuck under my armpits. So I kind of wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. And so I feel like I can really roll my shoulder caps back, broaden my collarbones, and straighten my arms. And then from there, if it's comfortable, you could straighten out the legs. You could start to maybe take a little bit of a more of a back bend in the upper back. But watch for pushing your bum out. Your tailbone is lowering down. The belly's drawing in. One more full breath here. And then soften everything to release. Bring your hands out in front of you again. Now change your interlace so it's the other finger on top. Bend your knees. Flip your palms away. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to stretch our arms forward, but now include much more of your lower back in this. So bend your knees, tuck your tailbone like you're really C-shaping your spine, tuck your chin, and then really round here. I want you to breathe right into the back body. And really starting to activate through your feet and your legs. Beautiful. Come all the way up. Full stretch up, full reach of the arms. And then let's start with our knees bent. Let's go to our left first this time. So going up and over, if this feels quite strong for you, you're going to stay here. But if you want a deeper stretch, you'll start to straighten out your legs and reach a little further. Take 2 full breaths here. We reverse to come out Bend your knees, come back to center, go over to the other side. Again, either stay here or straighten out your legs. Take 2 full breaths. Nice. Let's bend the knees, come all the way up and split the hands. Beautiful. Keep your knees slightly bent. Again, hands come behind you. Take that second interlace now, and once more, roll the shoulder caps back. And then start to move the hands a little away from you. And you could straighten out the legs here. So firm thighs. Lifting my chest, taking my hands slightly down and away. Such a nice stretch this. Remember, not carrying any tension in your face or your neck. And soften to release. Let's take a full breath in as we move into high mountain. Inhaling, draw the arms up. And then look forward. Bend your knees and sit down into chair pose. Okay, so in your chair pose, your weight is quite in the back. So it's in the heel, in the back of the foot, yes, the heel. And you want to be able to see your toes in the front of your knees. Hold one more breath. And then come into a forward fold. So you could keep your knees quite bent, especially in this first forward fold. So you feel the length move from the tailbone, your lower back, your middle back. Then kind of last is your shoulders and your head that softens down, and you're just letting the liquids move and drain in and around the face, the eyes, the brain, your sinuses, your glands. We'll take a few more breaths here. If at any point in any inversion you start to feel uncomfortable pressure in any orifices or nausea or dizziness, please come out. Otherwise, if you're loving it, you can hang out with me for another 3 breaths. So good for your circulation, this. Alright, to spinal roll up, bend your knees, pressure in your feet down to the floor, start to stack your vertebrae. Remember, arms and head come up last. As you come to stand, you loop the shoulders and look up. Again, reach both arms up, full breath in. And then come to sit into your chair pose. Nice. Raise your arms a little higher, straighten them out, and then bring your weight into your heels. Watch pushing your bum out. There's a slight tuck of the tailbone. My thighs are active, my glutes are active, my abdominals are active. Beautiful. And then again, come into your forward fold. This time, you're going to play with bending and stretching the opposite legs. So you'll feel that your hips really move around with you. You can kind of pull your hips back. You can roll around on the feet. So it's almost like you're giving yourself a little massage. Obviously getting some nice gentle movement in the knees. Don't forget to breathe. And then making sure you've done equal amounts to both sides. Pause and center. Let's all bend our knees to prepare for the spinal roll. Arms and head heavy. As you roll up, loop the shoulders up, back and down. And then bringing both arms all the way up. This time bring your palms to touch, look up. And now I want you to feel if you're rocking to your right or to your left or forward or back, and try and completely still that movement. And so it's this feeling of drawing your front body backwards, drawing your back body forwards, broadening yourself out to the sides. like you're squeezing in on yourself and expanding at the same time. And then draw your hands down to in front of your chest. Keep that balance between left and right. Sit down into your chair pose. Press your thumbs into your sternum and then draw your shoulders slightly back. Deep, full breaths, sit a little deeper. Nice. And then release hands forward. Legs can start to straighten out even more now. You could take your hands to the back of the calves or even the heels and start to fold yourself a little deeper. These poses don't have to be completely static, so you'll see I move around quite a lot in my shapes. It's almost like I'm oozing my body into the shape. Let's take a halfway lift. Draw your lower belly in and then fold yourself again. Fold yourself a little deeper. Bend your knees for a spinal roll to come all the way up. Looping shoulders, up, back, and down. All right, let's all come a little more to the front of our mats. Bringing big toes to touch. Reach both arms up, take a full breath in. And then fold forward, down over your legs. Take a halfway lift. Step your left leg back for a lunge. Keep the knee off the floor. Keep your front knee stacked above your front ankle. Press firmly into that right foot and then bring yourself into a high lunge. So forward facing hip pose now. Right and left hips facing forward. Ribs knitting slightly back. Strong back left thigh, active left glute. And then find a warrior two. So now opening the hips, front foot parallel to the long edge of your mat, back foot parallel to the short edge of your mat, taking a nice deep long lunge. I'm not taking my arm and my torso forward. I'm keeping this line of crown of the head to tailbone, looking over my right hand. Let's take 2 more breaths. Strong left leg. Straighten out your right leg after your second exhale. Like a longer triangle pose, you're going to scoot your hips to the left. Start to take your arms forward and then place right hand on right shin without dumping your weight down. Wake up this right thigh without locking the knee. And then open your left arm up and maybe gaze goes up. Full deep breaths. Nice. One more here. And then find your warrior two again as you come up. Lunge into the warrior two. Take reverse warrior, left hand down. Top palm flips up and back. Draw space all along the right side body. Stay in your lunge. And then back to warrior two. Straightening out your right leg, turn your toes forward. So now both feet are facing forward. In fact, my heels are slightly outwards. And I'm just going to move into a wide-legged forward fold Prasarita. Hands can slide down the backs of the legs, the knees. Maybe you kind of stay around here. Or if you can, reach your hands to your knees. Wake up the front of your legs and bring the crown of the head to the floor. And then you'll take 5 full breaths here. See if you can find a little softening in the shape with every exhale. Make sure you're not hanging in your hamstrings. So bring your weight a little to the front of the heels and the balls of the feet. Make sure your toes aren't gripping onto the mat. Oh, so nice. And then after your 5th breath, bring yourself all the way up, halfway lift. Walk to lunge across to your left leg, and we'll take that to the other side. So when you're ready, find your high lunge. Arms reach up. Feet on parallel tracks. Strong back leg, active right glute. And then open your hips for warrior 2. So ground your back heel now. Foot parallel to the short edge of your mat. Front foot parallel to the long edge of your mat. And then keep that same feeling as I explained earlier. As if something is pulling or pushing you forward. You're squeezing your front body back and your back body forward. So now my left sit bone is curling towards my right. My right thigh is drawing back. So I open up the hips. One more breath. Beautiful. Straighten out that front leg. Triangle pose. Hips pull backwards. Arm moves forward. And then hand can come to shin as you rotate the chest open. Reach your top arm. Keeping both side bodies equally as long. Active top hand. One more breath. And then bring yourself up for your warrior 2. Reverse your warrior. Right hand to right thigh. Front palm flips up. And you reach up and back. Nice. Hold. One more breath. Lunge a little deeper. And then come up, warrior 2. Windmill your hands down to the floor. Raise your right heel. Step back, high plank. Chaturanga, bending the elbows. Keep the shoulders above the line of the elbows. Rock over your toes. Upward dog. And then lift up and back. Downward facing dog. Hands at least shoulder width apart. And you can really allow the chest to melt down. And then as we did in our forward fold earlier, here again, you're just going to pace out the legs. You can let your hips move with. Let it be nice and fluid. Alright, we'll come to stillness. Ground your left heel, float your right leg up and back. Squeeze your right heel to your buttocks, and then open your right hip onto left. So you want to squeeze that right heel to right buttock. You want your right to move up to the ceiling, so that if you look under your left armpit, hopefully you can see your foot. Nice. Pull open that right side body. Should feel quite nice. Beautiful. Bring your hip line back level. Look forward, step your right foot through for a lunge. And then lower your back knee down. So this is the opportunity to place the cushion underneath that back knee if it's feeling a little sensitive. Anjayasana, both arms draw up. Okay, so again, we're still in a forward-facing hip pose. Hip line is going to be as level as possible. My arms are reaching up. Interlace your hands behind your head. And then again, you're just going to allow the sternum to lift. So by lifting here, you should feel that open all the way down the line to the front of your left thigh. Breathing deeply into the lungs. And then you can take this as far as feels comfortable and as far as you can keep your breath nice and easy. Come all the way back up, reach your arms up, and bring your hands back down. Step your right foot back. Again, chaturanga. If you need support, lower your knees. Upward dog. And downward facing dog. Nice. Bring your big toes to touch. Second side, right heel lowers. Left leg rises. And then when you're ready, I've got a wall behind me, but when you're ready, curl your heel to your buttock and open the left side body. So again, I'm straightening out my right leg and I'm squeezing my left heel to buttock. I'm trying to pull it back as much as I can to get space in the front of my left side body. Sink your heart down, straighten your arms, and then level your hip line. Look forward, step into your lunge. Ground your right knee, place your cushion underneath it if you need to. And then Anjayasana, both arms come up. Again, same thing, bring your hands behind your head, change your interlace, and then here you'll move to that little back bend. So lifting the chest, maybe the pelvis sinks down, but I'm not letting it kind of just splay out. I'm not sinking into my flexibility. I'm actively working on keeping it level. And then you'll take this little back bend as far as feels good. Nice. Let's come all the way up. Reach your arms up. Bring your hands forward. Raise your back knee up. But this time, walk yourself all the way through to center. And again, we'll come into our forward fold. Okay, let's come all the way up. So keeping your legs, you could bend them if you need to come up. And we'll take a variation of this forward fold with our interlaced hands behind our back. So like we did in the beginning of practice as well, rolling shoulder caps back. So this can be a little tricky. Take it really slowly. I like to bend my knees so that I can focus on taking my spine forward, softening my neck, and then kind of when my arms are in a comfortable space, then I'll straighten out my legs. Full breath in and soften down. Nice. Rest your hands on your lower back. Take a halfway lift. Change your interlace. And then you'll move back down. So the heels of your hands might touch. Mine don't, because I've got a few things going on with my shoulder and my neck. So this is strong enough for me, having my heels of my hands apart. This is quite intense for me. But if you wanted to work towards keeping the heels of your hands together, that would be a nice way to kind of up level in the shape. And then halfway lift, hands to lower back, hands down in front of you, walk across to your right foot, step it back, and then take a nice slow chaturanga all the way down onto your belly. Untuck your toes, leg hip distance apart, come into a Sphinx pose onto your elbows. We're going to move into a one-legged bow pose. So let's take our right hand across to the left. Curl your left heel to your buttock. Flex that foot. Feel if your left hip has kind of lifted off the mat. So I like to lift my left thigh, ground my left hip, and then I can feel that my pelvis is nice and level, and I'm adjusting myself so that my pubic bone presses down into the mat. Reach your left hand back. You could even look all the way back to reach for your outer ankle. See how my hip is lifted? Then I'm going to press my hip back I'm going to roll my left rib cage forward. I'm going to get this nice opening in the shoulder and the arm. And then from here, you're going to kick back, lift your chest, active left leg, active right leg. 3 full breaths. Don't rush it, but when you're done, without slingshotting that foot out of your grip, slowly take it back. Take a moment here to kind of wriggle out anything that feels tense in the back, and then we'll take it to the other side. Left hand across to the right. Right heel to buttock. Lift that right thigh for a moment so you can really get that right hip pressing into the mat. Take your right hand to outer right ankle, active left leg, and then roll rib cage forward, roll shoulder forward, kick back, lift up, kick back, lift up. Find your shape where you can stay for 3 comfortable breaths. And release when you're done. And then come to center. Bring one hand and the other down on your mat. And just rest your forehead. You can rock your hips side to side. And just allow the body to rest and the heartbeat to slow down again. Okay, then we'll take that double lift. So, as you are now, just squeeze your heels to your buttocks. Once more, feel if the buttocks have kind of moved away from the hip, from the mat, and squeeze your pubic bone down to the mat, slightly raise your thighs. Reach both arms back. You can reach for one and then the other. Flex into your ankles. And perhaps this is where you stay today. And all you're working on here is pressing your pubic bone down, rolling the shoulder caps back. Okay, otherwise, you could get the legs nice and active, kicking back. You could start to raise the thighs off the floor. Again, you'll find the shape that feels good for you in your body today. You'll take 3 full breaths. Beautiful. Slowly release. Release the feet. Bring your hands down. Change whichever hand was on top. And again, completely soften here. You can rock the hip side to side. So what I like about lying down like this after that back bend is you should be able to feel your heartbeat quite strongly here. I'm absolutely fascinated by the heart. It's so extraordinary. It's something you don't often pay a lot of attention to because it's kind of there, right? It has to do its job. It's got a job to do. But actually fascinating on that feeling of it pumping the liquid through every little part of your body. It's the train, it's the driving force that takes oxygen and nutrients to all our cells. All right. Then you can bring your head up. Slide your hands back under your shoulders. Come onto all fours. And just move through 3 rounds of cat-cow on your own. So a nice inhale lengthens the spine, extension. And an exhale is a rounding and a curling. And just releasing again any tension you might have picked up. Nice. Okay, then from here, bring your big toes to touch. Take a nice wide knee child's pose. So sit your buttocks back to your heels again. Another opportunity to place the cushion underneath your buttocks. If you're quite high away from your heels, or if the flexion in your knees feels too much, go full flexion all the way into the shape. Reach your arms forward. Allow your forehead to rest down and get a nice lengthening through the lower back. And slowly sit up. Alright, so we're going to bring your knees together now. We're going to move into our camel pose. So I've got quite a thick mat and I've actually got a carpet underneath, so I'm not going to flip my mat. But what I'd usually do is I'd pick my mat up about a fifth of the way, and then I draw it back to myself and I flip that over, because then I've got 3 layers of mat to place my knees comfortably on. Alright? If you feel you don't need any padding on your mat, then you'll just come up onto your knees. Let's all meet here. I'm going to tuck my toes under. I just find this a nice support. Squeezing into my buttocks and trying to bring my thighs perpendicular to the floor. So now here, I don't want to collapse in my lower back. You see how my pelvis is kind of tilting forward, my belly's soft, and I'm just kind of letting myself overarch. So that's not where we're going with back bends. What we want is strong legs, active glutes, slightly active belly, and then the curvature of the spine starts to happen because I'm lifting up. So take a nice little loop of your shoulders, bring your hands to your pelvis. Squeeze your elbows back, lift your chest. Lift your chest, lift your chest, lift your chest, like we were in that lunge. So we have opened the front of our legs already. We've activated our glutes. We know what it feels like to be completely symmetrical, right? To hold the shape while I'm speaking. Remember when we came down through our midline, all those poses where we're trying not to topple to the right, to the left, but we're really hugging in on ourselves, finding the shape. So you could stay here, or you could bring your hands down to your heels. Feel that your hips move back, send them back forward, open up into the shoulders. And then here, if you wanted to, you could take your head back. I've got a neck injury, so I'm not going to take my head back. But if you are an intermediate practitioner and you'd like to, you're welcome to. We're all going to stay in whichever shape we choose for 5 full breaths. Soft gaze in the face. Nice long breath. Lifting the sternum. Keeping your hips forward. Okay, and to come up, strong legs. You're going to come up as symmetrically as possible, bringing hands to lower back. Untuck your toes. Bring yourself to sit down. Don't counteract the back bend yet. You can feel here already your spine immediately lengthens, and that's already going to kind of counteract it slightly. Bring your hands to rest on your thighs. Close your eyes. And then just sit in any sensation you might be feeling. Any intensity. Notice what kind of energy you're running, or what emotions have maybe popped up. How alive your nervous system is. Let's take 2 more breaths here. Just allowing everything to settle. Okay. And your big toes should still be touching. You're going to come into a little squat. So tuck your toes under, split your knees, and start to lower your heels to the floor. Oh, so nice. Tucking my chin, really reaching forward, trying to get my torso to move through my thighs. Okay, and then to counter this pose, we're going to take a little crow balance, but it's really not about the balance today so much as more drawing your abdominals in and trying to push your front body back and get length in the lower back again from this back bend. So big toes stay touching. My hands move forward. I'm going to lift my hips way up high. I'm going to keep my hands shoulder distance, bend my elbows, and then bring my knees onto my arms. Okay, so here I'm rounding. See how much I'm rounding. And then here you'll just play with maybe lifting one, lifting the other. Draw navel to spine. If you fall out, you move back in. Some days balance is better than other days. And you're just going to hold here. And then we'll lower the feet. Lower the heels, lower the buttocks. Bring your feet out in front of you. Soles of the feet are touching. My hands are going to reach around my feet, butterfly pose. I'm taking my knees down towards the floor, lifting up through my chest, hugging my elbows in and back, and then drawing my spine forward first. So I like to take my elbows in front of my shins, and then notice I'm not just kind of collapsing my head down to my feet, right? I'm moving forward, 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 forward. So I don't even need to drop my head down in the shape to feel the opening that it gives around the pelvis area. But then it is really nice to soften down and kind of find a resting place for the forehead. Nice. Slowly come up to sit. And we're going to take a kind of an upright happy baby. So you're going to take your left hand to the outer blade of your left foot. Draw the sole of the foot to face the front of the room and hug your knee in towards your armpit. Okay, my arm is pulling back and my foot is kind of counter pushing forward. I'm going to find my balance. I'm going to take both feet into my happy baby. Okay, so if that feels good, you want to stay there, you can stay there. Otherwise, maybe you extend through your legs. My balance is off today. I wonder what that's about. Extending the legs. And let's take 2 more breaths. And then you'll slowly bend. Slowly bend. Bring your feet back. Find a half lotus. So let's bring right on top of left. If you can't do half lotus, no problem. You're just going to bring that foot in Sukhasana. So easy cross-legged seat in front. Ground both sit bones equally. Draw both arms up. And then take a twist to your right. So left hand can kind of help guide that right knee down. But I'm not pressing on the knee joints, I'm pressing on the right thigh. Right hand can either come behind you or internally rotate, bring it around to reach onto your right foot. And then you're in a bind here. So let's take 3 more breaths. Bring your gaze forward first, unravel the arms, reach both arms up once more, and then take a forward fold over your legs. So now with all these forward folds and roundings, we're really trying to work out the back bend from our spine. Slowly sit up. Simply change either the cross of your legs or change your half lotus, left foot on top. Draw both arms up, inhale. And then you're twisting to your left, your right hand now helping to guide that left knee down. Left hand either stays behind you or you're wrapping it around to find that bind around your top foot. So nice here with that hand in the bind because it's really pressing and helping me to keep length in my spine as I twist. 3 full breaths here. Unravel, gaze forward first, and then the arms. Inhale, draw your arms up, and then fold forward, exhale, softening the head down. Let's slowly roll the spine up and take a loop of the shoulders. All right, let's come to lie down on our backs. As you come to lie down, hug both knees to chest. The feet can be quite soft here as you just start to separate the knees into some hip rolls. So now let the belly be really soft and you're kind of rocking forward and back on the pelvis. It should feel quite nice, like quite a nice release as well. Such a simple movement, but so beneficial. Activates your digestive system when you give yourself a little massage into your belly. It's a nice massage in those SI joints. Change direction. And then, of course, just some nice, easy movement for those big femur bones that are in those ball and socket joints in our hips. Alright, and then we'll pause in center. And just take a simple twist to either side, opening arms out. And you're just going to allow your knees to fall over to the left. You could take your gaze all the way to the right. And then back to look up to the ceiling and to bring your knees back to center. Adjust as you must to move over to the other side. And you'll come all the way back up. One last little squeeze here as you draw your nose to your knees. And then take a nice full body stretch. Okay, then we're going to find our final resting pose. So there's 2 options here. Quite nice to have the feet wide apart and the knees touching. You could just rest your hands on your belly. Or, as I always mention in class, if you've got a wall close by, such a great opportunity to invert your legs. So you could take the buttocks right up against the wall, feet up. I like to take my arms back. Oh, and it feels like I could just stay here forever. So pick your pose or pick your shape. And try and make your body completely heavy. So everything is completely heavy on the floor or the legs against the wall. Feel yourself sinking down. You can take a nice full breath in through the nose and a sigh out through the mouth. Just allow yourself the last few moments of complete stillness. If you want to stay lying down, if you have time today, I highly recommend you just stay here, maybe for another 5 or 10 minutes. Otherwise, you can slowly start to move the body until the knees are back into chest. A little rock side to side. And then roll onto your side. And just pause here for a moment. And then bring yourself all the way up to sit. Find an easy seat. Bring one hand and the other across your heart. Close your eyes. Thank yourself for showing up today, for getting on your mat. We show gratitude to our bodies for carrying us through this life. We show gratitude to the practice of yoga. And thank you so much, everyone, for sharing your practice here today. I wish you a beautiful weekend and a beautiful day further. Thank you, everyone. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you got some nice back bends in today. Let me see here. Let me know how it went. I would love to know how you guys felt in that practice. How the different poses make you feel. We had quite a cool message or question from someone early on in the week saying, is it, it's so strange because it's the first time that he has felt his heart rate increase while being completely static. And it's so true, it's in these poses, we go quite deep. It's beyond the skeletal and the muscular structures of the body. We're tapping into our nervous systems, we're working through our circulatory systems. It's intense work, so make sure you drink lots of water. For those who've been following these classes, you know that we do quite a lot of lymphatic work, so that's lymphatic drainage movement, crucial to recovery for our bodies. So join in next week. It's definitely in one of the sessions from this week. I think there's 2 or 3 exercises. Otherwise, join in next week to learn some more about that. Such a pleasure. Is it Lisa and Roz? So great. Love the camel on the boat. Namaste. Such a pleasure, Roz. So lovely having you here. And such a pleasure, Rita. I'm so glad you guys enjoyed it. And yeah, you guys in all these classes, so pop in some suggestions here, please. What would you guys like to work on more? Like I said in the beginning of practice, the suggestions so far are balances, which clearly Kathleen needs more of in her life, and twisting. And what's really nice about twisting is then we can go into maybe some more detox practices. If you guys are keen, please let me know. I'm just sequencing over here in the best way I can. But it's so nice to know what you guys want more of and what you need in your lives and what your body needs. I'm trying to join into the high intensity classes with Suri and John. I haven't done Suri's yet. But with John and Jules, and just so that my body can also feel what your bodies are going through, guys. So I'm very invested in creating suitable sequences for you guys. So yeah, hip opening. I think you might have caught me on that. I think we might have a winner. Or maybe I'll just include all of the suggestions together. Let's see. But hip opening sounds delicious, very intense. That's working around the pelvic bowl, the big muscles, it's intense stuff, but it is so worth doing. 6 a.m. on Monday, Kathleen. Ooh, challenge. I don't know, Zita. I don't know. I know Siri's watching this, so now I need to be careful what I say, because if I commit and I'm not there, then I'll hear about it later. Okay. What is happening on Monday? Oh, I can't on Monday. Actually, I can't. I'm traveling back to Hermanas. But then I'll do the next one. Okay. Or I'll make up for it. Okay, but I'll let you guys know once I've done it. I think I'm actually a bit scared. But yeah, guys. Thank you so much for joining. Please and thank you. Such a pleasure. Thank you so much for joining as always. And even if you are watching the session and you're just catching up, I hope you enjoyed the practice. I hope it served you and that your bodies are feeling good after this week. There's flow every day of the week, guys. So, check it out. There's so much happening on the platform. Like, we just spoiled for choice. And as always, if you have any questions, then pop us a direct message, comment on the videos. Someone will get back to you very soon. So thank you all so much. My weekend is made after that class. I feel like it's going to be a great weekend. And I'm wishing you all a wonderful weekend. Bye.